What's up, guys? Dusty Shaw Fitness. Just want to show you here, out here in Gloucester, Virginia. Look at these. Boom. Crisscrossing. Look at that. Been seeing them a lot more often here lately. Those are definitely chemtrails. All right. Same two planes back and forth, crisscrossing. Dropping chemtrails all over the community. Geo tracking. All right, you need to check his website out. I'm going to pull it up for you real quick, and I'll give you the link, and so you can look at all the research. He's the top, most world-renowned expert on geo tracking chemtrails. They're not just spraying aluminum. They're spraying aluminum, the most toxic types like dioxide, with other chemicals that, when paired together, are even more toxic on the human body. All right, guys. So I got a list here. All right. So barium, aluminum, strontium, polymer fiber, thorium, silicon carbide, lithium, sulfate, and various types of silver pharmaceuticals. All right. Like I said, you can check out on geo tracking. Just Google that. All right. I've been watching this guy on InfoWars, Alex Jones, for over 20 years. All right. And he was speaking about this. You know, it used to be, look at that. It's crazy. And, you know, he said, all right, this is like the top expert on this stuff. All right. This is not some conspiracy theorist. Remember, guys, conspiracy theorist that term was created by the CIA on a project called Project Mockingbird, where the CIA infiltrated the mainstream media, and they decided to brand any truth tellers as conspiracy theorists as a way to discredit them. All right. Well, this guy is the leading expert. All right. His laboratory is in Florida, and that's what he's been doing for decades, is taking samples of the air quality and the things that they're finding both in the rainwater and in the air when they see these chemtrails. All right. And you can YouTube search and see, just like the videos I just showed you. All right. And, you know, people in the communities talk about how they noticeably feel better. They're getting ill when these chemtrails happen. All right. These are, you know, hundreds of thousands of people with these experiences. And then you got the top leading expert on chemtrails. You know, he's literally got a doctorate degree in geo-tracking, you know, whatever that degree is. And like I said, he's been doing it for decades. And I can remember his predictions from, you know, 2 to 3 decades ago, and now they've been proven correct. They are. And you can also listen to his phone calls where he calls in and other people call in and ask him, you know, point blank about, you know, why they're spraying these chemicals. There's no good use for them. All right. You know, it used to just be things like aluminum, and now it's all the things I listed. And if you look up, just Google for yourself what the interactions are when you mix these chemicals together. All right, guys, they are, here's the other thing. All right. Google any processed food label currently, and then Google what that same food label was 3-4 decades ago when we were children or in our parents' time, and products that used to have, you know, 2 or 3 ingredients. You know, for instance, something like Apple Jacks would have had dehydrated apples and, you know, wheat, gluten, something like that. You know, it'd have about 3 ingredients, and now it's got about 20 something ingredients. All right. And this is the case for everything. All right. And now they got nanobots in there too. All right. So for, you know, even if you were smart enough to avoid the vaccine, you're still getting it in the food. They're even putting it in the organic food now. All right. I mean, we cannot get away from this stuff. This guy from Geo Tracking even said, when he ran the numbers, you know, it's no wonder we have such high rates of cancer, autoimmune, autism, all these diseases that were not prevalent even just as recent as our parents and grandparents' time. All right. 1 in 3 people are suspected to develop some form of cancer in our lifetimes. All right, that is crazy. 1 in 3. If you ask our grandparents, most of them never even heard of somebody that had cancer back then. All right, when I was a child, I don't remember a single obese or autistic child in my entire grade. And now, I mean, a bulk of the children you see are, not true autism, but developmentally delayed. Something they're just not cognitively there like they should be, And, it's not just behavioral. The cognitive function is just, down. And all the disease, all the autoimmune, it's just all the neurological disorders. It's insane, guys. All right. So you can, we can't get away from it anymore. All right. You can do the best you can by eating as minimal food as you can, 1 to 2 meals a day, 8 hours apart with intermittent fasting, eating organic food, growing your own food. All right. But it's like the local, butcher and farmer I talk to, who grows organic food and feeds his cattle and everything organic food. He said, he can do everything organic, not spray any harmful chemicals like glyphosate on it, like everything in the store has. But 70% of our rainwater is poisoned with glyphosate. So when that rainwater pours down the mountain into his soil, it still gets into his stuff. There's no way around it, guys. So we have to do things like detoxification through water fasting. All right. You have to cut out as much as you can because we are still getting hit with massive amounts of it. And that's why disease rates are at such an all-time high, even though we've had all these breakthroughs in the medical field. All right. We should be healthier, not sicker. But, this is the conditions we're living in. Be aware of it. Take health matters into your own hand. Don't trust the MDs, medical doctors. Allopathic medicine, what's at your local hospitals, is the worst practice of medicine on the earth. The Rockefellers came here in the early 1900s and got rid of all the good forms of medicine like naturopaths, holistic health practitioners. One of the best forms of medicine is Ayurvedic medicine in the East, like India. All right. They made it illegal to where the only thing that's federally funded and accepted is allopathic medicine. That's why that's the only practices you see. And, if you go to one of them and they harm you, the leading cause of death in our country, the number one cause of death is allopathic medicine, Western medicine. They cause more death than anything else. And no one ever goes to jail. But let a naturopath, a chiropractor, an Ayurvedic doctor, any natural healer, let them harm you. And they're going to be, fined, jailed, lose their practice, audited, all that. All right. There's a monopoly on this. So stop going to the medical doctors. Get your own blood work. I mean, it shows you the ranges. It's so easy to read your own blood work. It's in my book. How to read your blood work. They make it very easy. Get your all your levels within the normal ranges, all right? And avoid the processed foods, cold showers, breath work, meditation, movement, exercise. You get 10,000 steps a day. Movement is medicine, all right? You have to move the body. It's like a plumbing system, like a garden. It has to get sunlight. Avoid the blue light. Wear blue light blocking glasses, all right? Circadian rhythm. Get your body in tune with the natural circadian rhythm of not just human life, but of all life. All right. When the sunlight comes out, that is the best time to go out in the morning and immediately get sunlight. Those are the healthiest rays. And then avoid blue light throughout the day, but particularly at night. All right. Avoid the screens altogether, or at least wear the blue light glasses, the orange lens glasses. But yeah, guys, geo-tracking. Look up. It's crazy. I'm looking at them right now. It's just unbelievable. Depopulation. They're just hitting us death by 1,000 strikes, as they say.